What is that?
What is
Emery had recently found out that her father's dog had died. Wanting to look back on better memories, she started watching old videos from visits to his house. In one recording, she was lying in bed when the dog suddenly focused on something across the room. It kept barking toward a shelf filled with photos and personal items. Then, something unusual happened. One of the pages on the memorial display seemed to shift by itself. As the dog kept staring and barking, it suddenly jerked to the side as though something had pushed it. Since unusual things had reportedly happened in the house before, the strange video left many people questioning what could have been there. A video shows Nick Long being awakened during the night by unusual sounds coming from inside his apartment. Because nobody else lives with him, the noises quickly make him suspicious. He takes out his phone and begins filming as sounds resembling footsteps seem to come from the area above his room. Rather than checking right away, Nick stays in his room until daylight before going to inspect where the noises were coming from. Nick thoroughly examines the attic, looking through every area, but nobody is there. He does not find any footprints or evidence that someone had entered the space. Although he finds the situation unusual, he does not focus on it for long because he has experienced other unexplained incidents in the apartment before. A few nights later, the sounds start again. This time, instead of waiting, Nick chooses to investigate the attic while the noises are still happening.
Yes, I've been hearing weird noises. And this door has been like opening and closing. Yo, what the?
As Nick gets closer, the attic door slowly opens by itself. The sight leaves him visibly startled. Whatever caused it, the moment feels unusual and difficult to explain. The following night, while filming his dog, he experiences another strange incident.
What was that? What was that? Yo.
While Nick is recording, his dog suddenly becomes alert and starts reacting to something that cannot be seen. After the strange events he experienced, Nick begins to suspect that something unusual may be connected to the apartment, especially the attic. He has since moved away, but he still remembers the incidents that took place there. A school custodian has worked late-night shifts alone at an elementary school in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for the past 6 years. During that time, she says many unusual things have happened inside the building. According to her, the school was built on Native American burial grounds, and she believes the strange activity becomes more frequent whenever work is done on the land or nearby trees. One night, she records a door opening by itself.
Just walked out here and put my car back, and this door's being weird. It was opening and closing by itself. And there it goes again. What the? is doing it. It shouldn't be doing this. You can shut the door now and stop messing. Oh my god.
The door opens and closes on its own. A short time later, while recording her late-night work routine in the sports hall, she captures something that she finds especially unsettling.
I guess there'll be no vacuuming and sweeping today. I got this set up in the gym today, so... What the... There's nobody in here? Oh my gosh. There's nobody in here. This is locked too. Nobody. What the Make sure this is stamped. That's scary. Alright, well, I'm good. I'm getting out of here. I ain't gotta mop and sweep anyway.
A series of knocks can be heard coming from inside a locked room. When she opens the door and checks the room next door, nobody is there. However, as soon as she walks away, the door suddenly shuts on its own, and the knocking starts again. At that point, she decides to leave for the night. What was causing the strange events inside the school remains unanswered. After staying away for several months, Jorge finally brought his daughter back home. He had kept her elsewhere because of the frightening events that had been happening inside the house. At first, everything seemed peaceful, almost too quiet, and Jorge began to think that whatever had been causing the problems was gone. However, that feeling of relief did not last long. One night, while he was home with his daughter, a security camera captured something unsettling.
Ay, Dios mío. Y esa mamita. Ah, mami. Mami? Where you see mommy at? Where you pointing over there? There's no mommy. Yeah.
I'm mommy.
Amorita, you creeping me out. Don't do that, girl.
Dad.
Huh? Ay, you.
Dad.
Hey,
Dad.
who is that? Amora, stop playing. What are you doing? What is what? Jesus Lord, what are you stabbing over there? I get you down. Stop playing with me, girl. Don't play around.
Beneath a cross on the wall, shadows begin to move. They slowly shift back and forth as if something unseen is pacing. Then, the cross suddenly flips upside down. What worries Jorge even more is his daughter's behavior. Since returning, she keeps saying someone else is in the room. She stares into empty spaces and follows something no one else can see. Fearing for her safety, Jorge takes her away from the house again. Later, while he is gone, he receives a motion alert. He checks the footage and sees something disturbing. The house is empty, yet something appears to be moving inside. A shadow slowly crosses the room. What unsettles Jorge even more is a quiet crying sound that can be heard in the footage. Later, he begins noticing strange things again, even while at work. At first, they seem minor, but over time, they become harder for him to ignore. According to the story, whatever was causing the strange events did not seem to remain in one place. Jorge began to feel that it was following him instead. As the experiences continued, he started questioning everything. He wondered whether the events were ever connected only to the house, or if something had been linked to him long before he realized it. A woman named Kat lives in a secluded area near the woods in Pennsylvania. One cold morning, she wakes up and sees a light layer of snow covering the ground outside. However, when she looks near her back door, she notices something unusual that immediately catches her attention.
Good morning, guys. It is literally 5 a.m. and I opened the back door to put some dry food out for the stray kitties. And there are people feet printed all over my deck in the snow. Do you see this? They start over there. And it like barefoot walks up to the table. There's nothing coming up to the... Maybe there is some coming up to the door. What? And I don't see any in the yard. What is this? I see them kind of coming out of the flower bed. They stop there. I thought maybe they would have walked off through that flower bed, but I don't see anything there. It's like one straight line from out in the yard up to the door, turned around towards the table, and then just stopped moving. That one has like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 toes. That's 6 toes. So was that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 16 degrees out. I have not gone outside yet. My cat came and woke me up, hysterical, probably because there was some barefoot person on the deck. I'm just more concerned about like a mental health crisis because there's no reason to be out there barefoot.
Kat is understandably disturbed by what she finds, but she is also concerned that someone may have been walking barefoot in the freezing weather. She contacts the police, but they tell her that no one has been reported missing, and there have been no nearby reports of trespassing or break-ins. With no explanation for what happened, she tries to put it behind her. However, nearly 2 weeks later, the footprints appear again.
Morning footprint update. Let me show you. This is the first time we've had snow since the initial footprint sighting. Do you see that? They're barefoot again. They're in a different spot than... Look at my shadow. So those prints are in a different spot than when we had prints before. Let's go downstairs. It is 7 o'clock. I've been up since 4:30. I didn't look outside. I just came up here and then I opened the window to see if any of the stray cats were coming up to the door yet because I didn't feed them yet. I'm gonna stay right along the side so I don't interfere. Those are definitely very bare human feet, but there are not 6 toes on these that I can tell. I don't know. No, those are very clear toes right there. So the house next door has nobody living in it, so I'm not sure why the prints would be coming from that deck. Happy New Year.
To keep watch around her property, Kat installs 2 security cameras outside her home. However, the barefoot visitor never appears again. As a result, the source of the footprints remains unknown. Whether they were left by an actual person or something else, Kat never received a clear answer. A mother is grieving the loss of her oldest son, Alex, who at the age of 22. He had been struggling with depression, and as his mental health worsened, he eventually took his own life. One of the things Alex enjoyed most was playing the guitar.
We're not playing with that last string though.
You're missing a string?
Yeah.
Even after a long time, Alex's mother was unable to stop thinking about him. One night, while she was home by herself, she suddenly heard the sound of a guitar being played. The sound reminded her of Alex, so she took out her phone and began recording.
Alex, if that's you, can you do it again, honey? What the? Hi, Alex. Can you do it again, honey? Can you do it again? Something else is going off down here. Do you hear that? The speakers. Something's coming out of the speaker.
She records what sounds like Alex's guitar playing by itself. His mother believes it was a sign from her son and that he was communicating through the instrument he loved. In the recording, a faint voice can also be heard repeatedly saying, "Mom." The experience leaves her deeply emotional, and she later shares a message for people who are struggling with depression.
You are contemplating. Your pain does not end. It will never end. It will transfer onto your loved ones, and it will carry. And now I will carry, and my son's little brothers will carry his pain and our pain for the rest of our lives.
What do you think? Was it really Alex reaching out to his mother one last time? Or was there another explanation for what happened during that recording? In June 2025, a woman named Ricky Hill shared a TikTok video describing a strange and unsettling event that she says took place in her home back in 2019. The security camera footage begins normally enough, with nothing unusual happening at first, but it doesn't take long before the atmosphere becomes noticeably more eerie.
You will see as the light dims and then brightens, and then it will dim again, and then it will brighten again. And if you look past, like towards the kitchen area, right about, let's see, one more time maybe. Right now, you'll see her. You can see her coming through. She comes, turns around, walks past towards the kitchen area again. And then you'll see an orb dip out at the end. Also, if your brightness is not turned up, make sure to turn that up or else you can't.
The lights inside the house repeatedly dim and brighten, creating an unsettling atmosphere throughout the video. But the strangest moment comes when a faint figure that appears to be a woman can be seen moving through the house, passing the kitchen before disappearing from view. Although difficult to see, the figure stands out once it starts moving. In the post description, Ricky claims the woman was named Mary and once lived next door. She also says Mary was involved with several men, including one who allegedly lived in Ricky's house, and that Mary's husband later found out and her. Ricky never shared where this story came from or whether it could be verified. Still, the figure's appearance has left viewers wondering what was really captured. Was it Mary's spirit, or was it something else entirely? The video features a man named Brad who shares his home with 2 cats. While filming inside the house, he captures an unusual moment that seems to cause one of his cats to avoid going into the bedroom.
So my cat's been watching that door for a while now. Oh. Oh no. Oh, Spider-Man, man. Freakiest place I've ever been. Butter, get out here. Oh, I can't do it anymore.
The door suddenly swings open, catching the attention of one of the cats. As it looks toward the room, what appears to be a dark figure can be seen inside. A short time later, the shape seems to be closer to the floor. The cats do not appear bothered at first, but afterward, they stop entering the room and instead remain at a distance, watching it. On TikTok, a man named Kyle Anthony shared footage from a security camera inside his home that was recorded late at night. Everything appeared quiet and normal at first, but before long, the recording captured something that made the situation feel unsettling. At one point in the footage, a chair in the kitchen appears to shift on its own. What stands out is that Kyle's cat shows little reaction to the movement. Although the change is small, it is noticeable once it happens. A second recording from later that night seems to show more unusual activity in the same area. Since both incidents reportedly occurred on the same night, many viewers found the footage unsettling. While there may be ordinary explanations, such as vibrations or something happening outside the camera's view, the movements were unusual enough to leave people wondering what caused them. A surveillance video captured a burglary at a collectibles store on Chicago's North Side. The footage shows suspects breaking into the business and stealing a large number of valuable items, including rare Pokemon cards and high-end sports cards. According to the store owner, the stolen collectibles were worth around $100,000.
They took a spare cash register from our storage that we use as a spare for like summer festivals. And they took it out, banging, smashing in the parking lot. I was just shocked. So just upsetting to see this has constantly happened in Chicago.
The entire incident was caught on camera as the thieves quickly entered, grabbed merchandise, and fled the scene. A woman from Oregon said that her young daughter repeatedly claimed that something was living in the basement, hiding in the storage area beneath the stairs. At first, the mother believed it was just her daughter's imagination. However, after hearing unusual noises coming from downstairs, she decided to review the basement security camera footage. What she saw left her deeply unsettled. The footage appears to show a small, pale hand reaching out from beneath the stairs before quickly disappearing. What makes the video even stranger is that both the young girl and the family cat seem to react to it. At one point, the child even appears to wave towards something that is not visible in the recording. Unfortunately, the video was posted online without a verified source, so what actually happened remains unknown. A mother named Courtney was filming her daughter while she was playing around the house. During the recording, her daughter suddenly begins behaving oddly, as though she is noticing something that nobody else can see.
Where are you? Hey, Gina. Have your finger, where are you? Gina, how did you do? Hi, mommy, where are you? Gina. Hi, Toby. Understood, where are
What's wrong?
Mommy, what's here?
No, it's here. What happened?
You.
You scared?
But dear, I steal I monster and I steal a monster.
What?
A voice can be heard coming from one side of the room. Moments later, the girl stops singing and looks directly toward that area. She then goes to her mother and asks, "Mommy, who's there?" before pointing and saying that a scary monster is there. Courtney says she had also noticed unusual things around the house from time to time. Taking her daughter's reaction seriously, she decides to move out. A cabin owner received a motion alert from a security camera late at night and checked the footage to see what had triggered it. The video appeared to show a figure resembling a young woman in a white dress slowly walking across the yard toward the edge of the property. Under the night vision camera, the figure looked unusually faint, giving it a somewhat translucent appearance while remaining clearly visible. The owner, who lived in a quiet area with few nighttime visitors, went out to investigate but found nothing. The footage left them wondering whether they had captured an intruder, a camera illusion, or something far more unusual. A trading card store in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, was targeted by burglars who broke through the front door and stole valuable Pokemon cards in just over a minute.
The alarm was ringing, we got an alert. I drove here, I was here within like 2 minutes and they were already gone by then.
According to the store owner, the suspects appeared to know exactly what they were looking for, heading straight for the most expensive cards before quickly escaping in a dark-colored SUV.
3 men in hats, masks, fully covered up, used the tool to break the glass. They filled the garbage bag with the proceeds and were in and out with under 2 minutes, and were in their car and they headed towards westbound towards the parkway.
Like if you see any of the broken shelves,
they help very well. The unfortunate thing is that a lot of times real license plates aren't used, so they use stolen license plates or dummy plates that don't actually come back to the registered owner of the car. So if it is a real license plate, we can track it back to the owners of the car, and they're great investigative tools. Even if it's not a real plate, we're able to track the cars through them, so they are very
so these are a mix of vintage and new?
The stolen merchandise is estimated to be worth between $40,000 and $50,000.
2 of the graded cards that we had were between like $3,000 and $4,000, and that's just 2 of the cards. They stole an entire display full. We have to still account for everything, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot. This was like a dream of mine, opening a Pokemon card store. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary yesterday, actually. But I mean, you know, this is like a passion of mine. As much as like it sucks and like it could happen again, I mean, I'm just gonna keep going because, you know, this is what I love. So got to stay positive. I mean, I could sit here and mope and be angry, but I mean, I have tons of messages, being tons of support. So it felt really good. We're going to try to restock. We're going to clean everything up. We're going to get new displays, and we're going to be back to serving everybody that wants to come in.
Despite the loss, the owner said he plans to restock the stores and continue serving the local card collecting community. A hiker was resting in the woods when he noticed something moving near a spring in the distance. As it came closer, he took out his phone and zoomed in. The video appeared to show a tall figure covered in dark hair or fur. From where the hiker was standing, it seemed unusually large, with some people estimating its height at around 8 to 9 feet, while some viewers believed it was simply a person wearing dark clothing. Others felt it resembled descriptions often associated with Sasquatch. Because the footage is unclear, it is difficult to determine exactly what was seen. A bedroom camera captured a strange series of events late at night. The footage shows a father lying in bed beside his son when the bathroom light suddenly turns on by itself. Before long, the situation becomes even more unsettling as the child repeatedly says the words, "scary friend." Concerned, the father gets out of bed to investigate and walks into the bathroom. However, as soon as he steps away from the bed, another unexplained event appears to take place behind him, making the footage even more disturbing. A moment later, the bedroom door suddenly slams shut, even though nobody appears to touch it. The incident left viewers wondering whether the camera had captured something paranormal or if there was a more ordinary explanation for what happened. At Green Manor, Mary was documenting the strange events reportedly taking place inside the house. During one evening, she captured a video showing an antique music box suddenly starting to play on its own. According to Mary, the music box had belonged to her grandmother before she passed away. What made the incident especially unsettling was that the music box could only start playing if someone physically lifted its lid. Mary was confused because she knew someone would have had to open it. As she continued through the house, she was overcome by an intense feeling of unease, and the old home seemed unusually cold. Then, 2 days later, the situation became even more disturbing when something else happened inside her bedroom.
This has never happened before. Ever. I was meditating right there like I always do. What the? I'm genuinely so freaked out. I never get freaked out like this. What the?
The most unsettling part was the candle itself. Its base kept moving repeatedly, as though something was pushing or touching it. In the comments, some viewers suggested it could have been Mary's grandmother trying to communicate. Others disagreed, believing it might be something else entirely. They pointed to stories claiming that negative entities can sometimes imitate loved ones to gain a person's trust, especially after a recent loss. Mary says that since that night, she has started experiencing sleep paralysis and seeing shadowy figures at the foot of her bed, things she had never experienced before. She continues documenting the activity, but admits that some nights she is too afraid to even review the footage. Was it really her grandmother reaching out? A person driving through a remote area noticed an unusual scene near a Catholic church. Several girls dressed in white were standing around what appeared to be a pile of burned material, without any additional information about the situation. It was unclear what was taking place, leaving the person wondering what they had witnessed. Real estate agent Santiago Sanchez was filming house tours for his channel when one property stood out from the rest. The owner had warned him to avoid entering unless necessary, explaining that he had left the house after experiencing strange events for months. Warning: Santiago chose to go inside so he could record the property.
They told me don't go in, but if you want to record it, you can film the video, but be very careful, don't get out of the house quickly. I'm just about to work up the nerve to go in. And this is the video. We're in the kitchen. You can see how they emptied all the whole kitchen quickly to run away. Everything is open. They haven't come back to this house. I don't know what to say, but you can still see belongings. It's strange. They never took this away. Honestly, I don't want to go far from the door. This is terrible on this side. I don't know how it could get so bad in such a short time. One of the things I notice is that there's a smell that's horrible, like something rotten.
As he continues exploring the house, Santiago becomes increasingly uneasy. Then, something happens that stands out from the rest of the visit.
After it happened, they said strange things began occurring. But anyway, I wanted to come record the video and see, a little bit, of everything that's happening in this house. I don't really believe in it, but this is the house. It's very, very interesting, and I'd better get out of the house now, but again, If you need to buy a house, always check the house's history. It's very important. All right? Greetings again.
A chair begins moving back and forth, even though nobody appears to be near it. While there could be different explanations for what caused it, the combination of the condition of the house and the moving chair led many viewers to feel that something was unusual about the property. Whether it was something ordinary or not remains unclear. A person was walking their dog at night when they spotted something unusual in the sky and began recording. The footage appeared to show a ring-shaped object overhead. It looked circular in shape, with lights around the outer edge creating a glowing outline in the darkness. No clear explanation was ever given for what was seen. TikTok user WillowHunter74 says they suddenly woke up around 3 a.m. on March 12, 2026, after thinking they heard a tap running downstairs. Feeling curious and a bit uneasy, they checked their home security camera footage to see if anything unusual had happened during the night. According to the post, this is what the camera recorded. The footage shows a teddy bear suddenly falling from a chair, and a short time later, a nearby door slowly opens on its own. Neither event is particularly dramatic by itself, but seeing them happen in the same clip makes the video feel unsettling, especially since they reportedly occurred in the middle of the night while everyone was asleep. And there isn't much additional information beyond the uploader saying they heard what sounded like running water earlier that night. While there could be ordinary explanations for what happened, the combination of both incidents has left viewers wondering what was going on inside the house. Was it something paranormal, or simply a strange coincidence caught on camera? TikToker Mosh Mob shared a video recorded in their backyard in the Appalachian Mountains at around 3 a.m. A whistling sound can be heard coming from somewhere beyond the trees. In the Appalachian Mountains, many hikers and residents have reported hearing similar noises at night. Some local stories suggest that visitors should ignore the sounds rather than respond to them. Because so many people have shared comparable experiences, the source of the whistling continues to be debated. A Reddit user named Iron Baboon shared a video on the UFO subreddit that was reportedly filmed in Doha, Qatar, on March 25, 2026, during a thunderstorm. The clip shows 3 glowing lights moving through the sky while lightning flashes in the background. Despite the storm, the lights appear separate from the lightning and remain visible throughout the footage. Their movement is what caught viewers' attention, as they don't seem to behave like typical lightning flashes or reflections. Because of the weather and the video's limited quality, it's difficult to determine exactly what the lights are. Still, the 3 glowing orbs give the footage a mysterious feel and have sparked debate about what was really captured. Were they connected to a UFO sighting, or was there a more ordinary explanation? During a weekend sleepover, 2 friends were spending time in a bedroom when a strange sound suddenly caught their attention. It started as a light tapping noise coming from somewhere in the house. At first, they dismissed it, but the sound soon became louder and started happening more often.
Get up. Get up. Get up. You're here. Listen. Touch that door. That Ouija board. I'm getting out of this room. I can't sleep in here.
The sounds appeared to be coming from a storage closet nearby. When he slowly opened the door, nothing seemed out of place, and the room was empty. A few minutes later, the noises started again. Wanting to find out where they were, Come walked through a dark hallway and carefully opened another door. As he pointed the camera into the room, he noticed something unsettling.
This might be the last time.
A tall, dark figure appeared to be standing still in the room. The boy quickly shut the door as soon as he saw it. What he witnessed was never explained, leaving the incident a mystery. Reddit user Sav3434 and her husband purchased an old home in Appalachia to renovate. They lived there for a few months, around 5 years earlier, but moved out after experiencing several strange incidents they could not explain. Recently, they returned to begin a full renovation, hoping the house would feel different once updated. The property includes an original log cabin from the 1800s and a newer section added in the 1990s. While removing the exterior siding from the older cabin, they discovered a message carved into one of the logs that said, "Demon, be gone." Wanting to know if the phrase had any meaning beyond its obvious wording, they asked online for advice. One person replied with a simple suggestion: move. In the video, a woman named Kenzie is going through her phone gallery when she finds a completely dark video that had been stored on her phone for 2 years. She does not remember recording it, so she decides to increase the brightness to see what is in the footage. What she discovers leaves her unsettled. After increasing the brightness, Kenzie notices what appears to be a tall, dark figure standing in her bedroom doorway. She says she always sleeps with the door closed, making the scene even more confusing to her. The figure seems to be facing in her direction and appears closer as the footage continues. What makes the video even stranger is that Kenzie has no memory of recording it and cannot explain why a dark video like this was on her phone in the first place. The figure resembles what some people describe as the Hat Man, often mentioned in reports of sleep paralysis. What Kenzie captured that night remains unknown. Victoria goes down to her basement to check the circuit breaker, something she has done before. However, the basement is the one part of the house she tries to avoid. For weeks, she has been hearing strange things there that she cannot explain. She hears whispers and voices with no clear source. Sometimes the sounds are so faint that she wonders if she kned them, while other times they are clear enough to make her stop and listen. At times, it seems like someone is trying to speak from nearby, and sometimes it sounds as though the voice is saying her name. She keeps telling herself it is nothing, but the feeling never goes away. Then one night, she returns to the basement again. Out of the silence, a voice suddenly speaks. It is not distorted, distant, or filled with static. The voice sounds clear, direct, and close to her. Before this, Victoria had only heard whispers, but now the sound is much clearer and more noticeable. What makes the moment so unsettling is how calm and distinct the voice sounds. In June 2005, two lifelong friends, David Horsey and Frederick Hardesty, traveled to a small cabin in Nahanni National Park in Canada's Northwest Territories to visit a friend named Rod Gunderson. Both men were experienced outdoorsmen from the nearby community of Fort Simpson and were very familiar with the rugged northern wilderness. However, something went terribly wrong. On June 16th, Rod returned to the cabin and discovered that both men were missing. Most of their belongings were still inside, including food, firewood, and even their firearms. There were signs that fires had been burning nearby, but nothing clearly explained where they had gone. Concern quickly spread, and on June 18th, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police launched a search of the surrounding area. Teams searched the forests and riverbanks near the cabin, but after several days, the official search was called off on June 23rd, leaving family members and volunteers to continue looking. Then, on June 27th, David Horsey's body was found about 2.3 miles from the cabin. Investigators noted on his hands and arms, and his was later ruled to be the result of hypothermia. Nearly 2 weeks later, on July 8th, Frederick Hardesty's body was discovered in the North Nahanni River, more than 12 miles from the cabin. His was determined to be the result of drowning. The discovery raised further questions because that section of the river had reportedly been searched earlier. Family members and members of local First Nations communities later expressed concerns about the investigation and whether the full story had been uncovered. Some witnesses reported seeing marks on the cabin floor that looked like damage, as well as damage to clothing that resembled a blast. These claims fueled speculation that something more sinister may have occurred, but no definitive evidence was ever found. To this day, the deaths of David Horsey and Frederick Hardesty remain one of the most unsettling mysteries associated with Nahanni National Park. A man named Wade was at home with his young child and family dog. One evening, as he was preparing to take the dog outside, he spotted something unusual in the living room that immediately caught his attention.
Just record the whole thing. Yeah, here we go. Let's go potty days. Nope. Nope. Go to the room. Go. Daisy. Go, go, go.
A chair in the corner of the room slowly started moving by itself. At first, Wade thought it could have been caused by a draft or some kind of vibration, but all the doors and windows were shut. Later that night, he struggled to sleep and was suddenly awakened by a scratching noise coming from outside his bedroom door. What made the situation even stranger was that his dog was lying beside him on the bed. Although scared, Wade turned on his camera and carefully opened the door.
Daisy, no, 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 no. You okay? Come on. Daisy. Come on. Come on, 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 come on. Daisy, get in the car.
The house was completely quiet, but the feeling inside was deeply unsettling. Not long afterward, Wade decided the safest option was to take his child and dog and leave the house right away. Even now, he still does not know what was inside his home that night, or what may have caused the strange events. A man living in an isolated house surrounded by woods reviewed footage from his outdoor security camera after feeling that something was unusual during the night. While watching the recording, he noticed a faint white shape near the tree line. For a brief moment, it appeared clearly visible before disappearing without any obvious movement. Some people believe it may have been caused by lighting conditions or a camera issue, while others think the footage is more difficult to explain. The homeowner does not believe it was simply a camera malfunction. A woman living in the United States with her children claims her home has become the center of a series of strange events. According to her, everything seemed normal when they first moved in, but after a few weeks, unusual things began happening. She says they started hearing voices when no one was speaking, seeing dark figures standing in the corners of rooms, and watching doors open and close on their own. One afternoon, an incident occurred that frightened her so much that she grabbed her phone and began recording. Until then, she says no one believed her when she talked about the unexplained activity and her belief that the house might be haunted.
Close the door. Can you close the door, please? What the? Come on, let me ask. Open the door if you need help.
What the? Oh my, it opened it wide as oh my god.
Close the door. Need help.
I swear to God, I put it on. Oh my, what is it doing? What the? Bro!
A door begins moving, even though nobody is near it. When she asks if it wants help, the door appears to move again. Believing it could be one of the spirits she thinks is in the house, she speaks to it. Later that night, while her children are asleep, a game controller suddenly falls from a table onto the floor beside them. After reviewing the footage multiple times, she becomes convinced that something pulled the controller down by its cord. The incident leaves her wondering why a ghost would be interested in her sleeping children. One evening, a woman and her friend were spending time in an isolated cabin when a notification from the front door security camera suddenly appeared. With no visitors expected at that hour, the alert immediately raised concerns. Curious about what had triggered it, they checked the camera feed to see what was outside.
Me too.
In the distance stood a towering figure whose height and proportions appeared unusual. It remained completely still, showing no reaction or movement. Then, it let out a strange sound. Frightened by what they had seen and heard, the two hurried back inside, wondering if the stories surrounding the cabin were true after all. An unusual photograph was posted online in May 2026. The picture itself was taken during the 1980s on a winter day and showed the user's father, uncle, and great-grandfather visiting a family grave. In the background, near a tombstone, what appears to be the outline of a person can be seen. The figure seems to be wearing light-colored clothing, and some viewers believe they can make out details such as a hand, a purse, and part of a head. Because of the appearance of the clothing, some people thought it looked like a style from the early 1900s. Whether it was an actual person, a visual illusion, or something else remains unknown. A homeowner had been experiencing unusual events in his basement for several weeks. Wanting to document what was happening, he turned on a camera and began recording his account. While speaking near the laundry area, a large wooden door could be seen in the background. According to him, the door was usually left open because it was very heavy and difficult to move. As the recording continued, attention was drawn to the door behind him.
That's really scary, brother. Yeah, that's what it's called. Freaks me out. Well, there goes the door. There goes the door there. Yeah, I don't like that. Ooh, that's creepy. So that door just swings wide open and stays open. There you go.
Without warning, the heavy door slowly begins to close by itself. The man becomes visibly uneasy as he notices the movement. A few moments later, the same door suddenly swings back open with great force, as though it had been pushed from the other side. What caused the door to move remains uncertain, and different viewers have offered different explanations. A mother named Jennifer captured a disturbing moment on her Ring doorbell camera. Late one night, her son was spending time with a friend at their house, talking and playing games. After noticing that it was already past 1:30 a.m., the friend decided to head home. As they stepped outside, they spotted something unusual nearby.
What is that? What is that?
As Jennifer's son opens the door, a streetlight in the distance suddenly switches on. Moments later, a rocking chair on the front porch begins moving as though someone is sitting in it. Shortly afterward, a bright object appears from the left side of the screen and moves toward the pickup truck. After noticing it, the two friends react with confusion and quickly head back inside. They never figured out what they had seen that night. While renovating an old house, a carpenter discovered a handwritten note hidden inside the structure. According to Reddit user headspin_exe, the note was dated 1975 and appeared to have been left behind during construction or repair work. It felt like a small-time capsule, a reminder of how people can unknowingly leave pieces of their lives sealed inside walls for decades. What's especially striking is that the person who wrote the note was reportedly 14 years old at the time, meaning they would be around 65 years old today. A woman named Shaylin works at the Shanley Haunted Hotel in New York, a location known for stories of paranormal activity. One of the spirits she frequently mentions is Rosie, a young girl who is believed to haunt one of the upstairs rooms. Shaylin shows viewers Rosie's room, a small area filled with toys, gifts, and other items that have been left there for the child.
Lots of toys, lots of gifts. She has her bunny Jack-in-the-Box she got for Christmas because she asked for a Jack-in-the-Box and she loves bunnies, so Kelly got her a bunny Jack-in-the-Box. And here's the piano that I brought for her today, and we got thank you, an EVP as we were coming up the stairs with the piano to put it in her room, so we're pretty excited about that, and I will post the thank you EVP. And here's Rosie's whole room for everybody that wanted to see it.
Rosie reportedly lived at the Shanley Hotel in the early 1900s. Shaylin says that in 1911, Rosie went across the road to get water and never returned. After her death, the family moved away from the hotel. Shaylin also says that Rosie is not the only spirit believed to be there. She claims there is another presence in the hotel that she considers much darker and avoids interacting with.
Hi, Rosie baby. I'm so glad you're having fun with the bell. Last night when we were investigating up here, you didn't come out and play with us, and you didn't play with the bell, and I was so worried about you. Do you want me to read you a book after I'm done doing the beds? Yeah? Which book do you want me to read? Let's see. I'll say some books, and you hit the bell when I say the book you want me to read, okay? Do you want me to read? Okay, so I'll definitely read you a book. Rosie, sweetheart. You want me to fix it so it actually makes the sound again? Oh, you got it!
At first, the bell responds as Shaylin speaks to Rosie and asks whether she would like a book to be read. Soon, the ringing becomes stronger and continues repeatedly until the bell no longer rings normally. Shaylin believes Rosie was simply playing with the bell, but some viewers think something else may have been responding instead.
I just believe, and I feel. I'm there. I feel her presence. I can feel the difference when Rosie's there versus when I'm not even gonna say who exactly, but there's like a very, very negative, horrible entity there who we refuse to interact.
What do you think was happening? Was Rosie really interacting with the bell, or was something else responsible for the response? A user on the cryptid subreddit shared a photo taken during a late-night walk. According to the post, the uploader's friend took several random pictures while walking home alone and later noticed what appeared to be a strange figure in one of them after increasing the image exposure. The uploader stated that the photo was not edited beyond that adjustment. In the image, something can be seen standing in the distance, though it's unclear what it actually is. Some viewers compared the figure to the Wraith, while others suggested it could be a person or an object distorted by darkness. Whatever the case, the shape is unusual enough to leave people questioning what was captured in the photo. Curtis and a co-worker were inside an office building that was rumored to be haunted when they suddenly heard unusual sounds coming from the floor above. Curtis decided to go upstairs with a camera to investigate, but the situation quickly became more unsettling. As he recorded, something unusual could be seen near a door frame in the background.
One by one nelo kagul kano inu one kaway haino ka mga tabaneho kano.
When they later watched the footage, they noticed what appeared to be a dark human-shaped figure briefly peeking out from a room before disappearing almost immediately. Earlier in the recording, another shadow-like shape seemed to be visible in the hallway. Whether it was a person inside the building or something else entirely remains uncertain. A man had been living in the house for several years and claimed that strange events happened there regularly. One evening, while home alone with only his dogs, he experienced another unsettling incident. As he was sitting inside the house, a sudden noise came from another room. Surprised by the sound, he picked up his camera and started recording.
What's going on?
That? What the was that?
A short time later, another loud noise appeared to come from deeper inside the house, making both Matt and his dogs seem nervous. Unable to find a clear reason for the sounds, he later reviewed the recording and uploaded it online. While some viewers felt the house could be haunted, others believed there was likely a normal explanation for what happened. A family from England traveled to Cornwall in the 1960s and ended up staying in an 18th century cottage after their usual rental was unavailable. From the very first night, the house felt unsettling. The children reported hearing breathing in their room and refused to go upstairs, while the adults also sensed that something was wrong. The cottage remained strangely quiet, and locals later shared a story that a farmer who had once lived there had his wife before taking his own life. The tree where the tragedy supposedly occurred was still standing in the garden. During their stay, unexplained sounds repeatedly came from the same corner of a bedroom, and one night a loud crash woke the family, followed by what sounded like a woman's voice speaking from behind the bed. Decades later, in 2020, a relative returned to the same cottage and reportedly heard the same loud crash from the same corner at exactly 3 a.m. While reviewing photos from the trip, they also noticed a large dark silhouette standing in a kitchen window. The experience left them convinced that something unexplained was connected to the cottage. Two friends were hired to clean an abandoned property after the elderly couple who had lived there passed away. While inspecting the house and checking its condition, they noticed something that immediately caught their attention. Near the corner of one room was an old chair, and what happened next left them unable to explain what they had seen.
Basically, they hired us because there was a guy here who was cleaning, and then we don't know what happened. He just decided it's like nobody could communicate with him. He doesn't know what's going on, like he's in the middle of cleaning. Obviously, this is a property in probate. Some elderly people passed away, the last person in the house, but we have to do all this down here. I mean, it's pretty... What the hell? That's pretty scary. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, darn. There's a strange looking cloud here. What the hell? It was right there, I swear to God. It was right there on that chair. What the hell? Damn. Right there. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's so messed up. Back. Oh my God. That's crazy. I can't handle this. What the hell is that?
A clown doll could be seen sitting on a chair. Moments later, it was no longer there and appeared on top of a tall piece of furniture. Frightened by what they witnessed, the two friends moved to another room. However, as they continued through the house, another unusual moment seemed to occur near the entrance of the next hallway.
Do you hear somebody? Do you hear somebody? Do you hear that? Hello? 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 Is anyone there? Hello? What the? Oh my...
The same clown doll appears hanging in front of them before suddenly dropping to the floor. The sight frightens the two friends, causing them to run out of the property. Whether it was a prank, a setup, or something else remains unclear. Years earlier in Massachusetts, an abandoned asylum known as Danvers State Hospital remained empty after it closed in 1992. The facility had once housed thousands of patients and was known for its difficult conditions. After it was shut down, stories of paranormal activity began to circulate. In 2000, a security guard working at the deserted property went into the dark basement one night and recorded a short video, not knowing what he might end up capturing. At first, nothing seemed unusual in the recording. However, when the security guard later watched the footage, he noticed what appeared to be a tall, thin shadow moving slowly through the darkness. It almost looked as though it was trying to avoid being seen. The guard insisted that he was alone in the building that night. Even years later, people still debate what was captured in the video, wondering whether it was simply a shadow or something else inside the abandoned hospital. This footage was recorded inside an abandoned mental asylum. Although nothing unusual was discovered during the exploration, the walls covered in what appeared to be left a disturbing impression. The scene led many people to wonder about the events that may have taken place there when the facility was still in use. Antonio, a paranormal investigator from Peru, is known for exploring abandoned locations that are rumored to be haunted. During one investigation, he entered an old colonial-era building that residents believed was cursed. The structure had sat abandoned for years and was in a state of decay, yet stories persisted that something strange remained inside. Antonio streamed the exploration live, relying only on his phone's light as he moved through the dark building. Everything seemed normal at first, but the atmosphere suddenly changed when he noticed a nearby window begin moving on its own.
Carajo. Puta madre, loco. Lo he tocado, sí, pero con una piedra. ¿Hola? ¿Hola? Los ruidos vienen del techo. Del techo vienen los sonidos. ¡Uy! ¡Cara! ¡Hola! ¡Hola! ¡Qué verga! ¡Carajo! Uy, no, esto no.
The window slowly creaked, even though there was no wind. Moments later, strange sounds could be heard, like several people whispering at the same time. As Antonio looked around, he heard what sounded like a child softly laughing. Then, for a brief moment, a faint, childlike figure appeared in the darkness. Frightened by what he saw, Antonio ran out of the building. After calming down, he decided to go back inside to see if what he had witnessed was real. But as soon as he returned, the strange sounds started again. Two girls in Argentina are outside late at night filming a building beside the road. They were walking home when something inside the building caught their attention through a window, leaving them unsettled.
Lo grabé justo.
Inside the building, a dark shape appears to move rapidly back and forth across the room. The movement catches the girl's attention because it seems unusually fast and continues in the same pattern for more than 10 minutes. Later that night, another person also notices the same activity.
Mira. ¿Paso vieron? ¿Ah? Mira. Mira. Ahí se paró, mira. Ahí está parado,
Mira, Ángel.
Ángel.
Está parado ahí, mira.
Ángel, mira, está parado ahí, mira.
¿Lo ves?
Mira ese negro que está ahí. Ahí se paró, mira. Fíjate, ahí se va a mover, mira. Ahí está parado, mira. Mira ese negro que está de lo de ahí, Ángel. Ahí está parado, ahí. Ahí quedó parado, mira. Ahí se va a mover, mira. Acércale más, acércale. Mira los negros que está ahí. Ahí eso, ¿Ah? ¿Arriba el techo? Mira.
The dark figure appears to move rapidly across the room again. This time, it seems to pause near the window and slightly turn in the direction of the person watching, before continuing its unusual movement. Later, the man looks into the building and learns that it has been abandoned for quite some time. The discovery leaves him shocked and unable to explain what he witnessed that night. On February 7th, 2026, a TikTok user known as Paranormal Empress shared a photo that she says was taken while trying to show her husband that the kitchen light had been left on. After taking the picture, she noticed what appeared to be a figure standing in the room. The figure resembles a person with faint facial and body features that are still visible enough to stand out in the image. The uploader believes the figure looks like a relative named Anne Boleyn and shared side-by-side images to support the comparison. While some viewers think the figure may have been digitally added to the photo, others aren't so sure. Whatever the explanation, the image has sparked plenty of debate about what was actually captured. At about 6:40 a.m., Jose was investigating a hospital that is said to be haunted. The building was expected to be empty and quiet, yet while filming, he picked up the sound of slow, consistent movement coming from somewhere deeper inside. The noises didn't seem like typical sounds from an old building. Instead, they gave the impression that something was moving through the area. Jose paused to listen, and then the sounds suddenly stopped, leaving an eerie silence behind.
Why?
A short time later, he slowly points the camera toward a hallway in front of him. That's when a strange sight comes into view. A pale, mist-like shape appears to glide across the corridor from one side to the other. Almost immediately afterward, a door at the far end of the hallway suddenly slams shut. The entire incident is visible on camera. The shape appears more substantial than a speck of dust or a simple lighting effect, and there is no obvious reason for the door to suddenly shut. With no one else in sight, Jose doesn't remain in the hospital much longer. Shortly after recording the footage, he decides to leave. A person shared a trail camera photo taken in Loudoun County, East Tennessee. The image appeared to show a human-like figure standing in the woods. The person said the photo was captured in 2020, but was not shared for years because they expected people to call it fake. Some viewers thought the figure looked like a Civil War soldier, while others believed it was simply a person affected by poor image quality. The person who took the photo said the location was far from any town or trail, and that the area had always felt unsettling. A video shared online has unsettled many viewers. It starts with a man suddenly waking up after hearing a strange laugh echo through his house. Since he lives by himself, the sound immediately concerns him. Unsure of where it came from, he grabs a flashlight and carefully begins looking around his dark bedroom. As he slowly shines the flashlight around the room, the unsettling laughter continues and seems to come from nowhere in particular. When the light reaches a slightly open wardrobe, a thin, pale hand briefly appears from the opening. Startled, he quickly opens the wardrobe but finds nothing inside. Moments later, a loud sound is heard behind him. similar to a door slamming. Soon after, a scream comes from the hallway. When he cautiously looks out, he briefly sees what appears to be a face in the darkness before the video suddenly ends. What actually happened remains unknown. A young woman in Japan says her grandmother kept a photo album believed to be cursed inside a cupboard. She suspects her grandmother was involved in dark rituals and believes the album may be linked to her grandfather's unexplained death 12 years earlier. According to her, her grandfather died inside the house under unusual circumstances. She also claims that after looking through the album herself, she became seriously ill. Following her grandmother's death, she remained fearful of both the house and the album. She later asked paranormal investigator Kanako to remove and destroy it, warning that anyone who looked at it would become sick. Some family members even believed the album could take control of those who opened it. Kanako entered the abandoned house and located the album, but soon started feeling unwell. He left in a hurry, accidentally leaving behind his phone and camera. Later, the YouTube channel Fourth Wall was asked to retrieve the equipment and examine the recordings. What they discovered left them disturbed. Footage recovered from a phone that had been left recording shows a portrait of the woman's late grandfather suddenly falling to the floor without any obvious reason. Another recording shows Kanako locating the photo album and looking through its pages. During that footage, an unusual event takes place that Kanako later says he has no memory of. Kanako hears an unusual noise coming from somewhere inside the house. When he looks in that direction, a figure appears to be kneeling behind the glass of a sliding door. Kanako says that nobody else was inside the house with him at the time. After watching the footage, the team from Fourth Wall suggested that the grandmother may have been connected to the grandfather's death and that his spirit could still be inside the home. Whether the album was truly cursed or something else was captured in the house remains unknown. while walking through the woodland behind their father's old farmhouse. Reddit user witty username 0708 stumbled upon an unusual sight, a lone doll resting among the trees. The farmhouse has stood since the 1870s and is located in a secluded area surrounded by forest and farmland that has remained in the family for many years. What made the find especially strange was that the user had no connection to dolls growing up, and the doll itself looked relatively well preserved. Its facial details remained clearly visible, giving the impression that it hadn't been left there for very long. The unexpected discovery sparked questions about where it came from and who might have left it behind. A security guard working overnight at a remote construction site in Chile started experiencing things that made him uncomfortable. He often felt as though someone else was there with him. According to him, unusual events happened regularly, including tools appearing to shift slightly, faint sounds coming from unfinished hallways, and sudden cold spots. One night, he decided to use his phone to record what was happening in hopes of capturing evidence.
Al fondo acá. Aquí hay otro pasillo también con luz e iluminación aquí. Hay algunos que están oscuros. Y bueno, ahí aprovechamos de seguir avanzando. Para allá sería donde vamos a ir ahora en este momento. Así que nos vamos con harto ojo.
As he moved through the poorly lit site, his camera appeared to capture a dark figure looking out from behind a doorway. When he approached the area, it was no longer there. A short time later, the temperature seemed to drop suddenly, and his breath became visible in the air. He continued walking, but then he heard what sounded like a whisper.
¿Quién anda ahí?
The whisper seemed very close, as if it came from right beside him. At that point, he became frightened and immediately left the site. While some people believe the experience was caused by fear and stress, others think there may have been something else there with him that night. Reddit user Damian Qwerty shared a photo taken by his aunt during a visit to an old family cemetery in the Appalachian Mountains of Virginia about 20 years ago. The group was there to photograph old headstones, but the cemetery was heavily overgrown. Nothing unusual was noticed at the time. Later, after the photos were developed, they spotted what appeared to be a figure standing near a tombstone. According to the story, no one remembered seeing anybody in that area when the picture was taken. The aunt later claimed she used an Ouija board to ask about the figures and was given the name Teresa Collier, described as an 8-year-old girl. In 2023, an urban explorer named Antonio Park traveled to a deserted hospital hidden within the forests outside Lima, Peru. Isolated from nearby communities and surrounded by dense woodland, the building had long been abandoned. Late one night, Antonio and a friend made their way through its dusty corridors while documenting the exploration. As they walked past a locked room, they noticed movement behind the small glass window in the door. Curious, Antonio moved closer and tried to make out what was inside, but the figure remained difficult to see. Hoping to get a better look, he switched on his phone's flashlight and began filming through the glass.
Oye, Juan, te lo juro que yo... Mira, en la esquina derecha, ven los ojos. ¿Qué mierda? Oye, ¿qué es eso, concha de su madre? Oye, la mierda, huevón, mi cuerpo. ¿Qué es esa mierda? No sé, huevón, mi cuerpo está aquí. Ay, concha de su madre. A la mierda, hermano, qué loco. Oye, ¿qué es eso, huevón? Sí, huevón. Ya deja de grabar, concha. Oye, ¿qué es eso, hermano? ¿Qué es eso? A la mierda, gente, huevón.
As soon as the flashlight illuminated the room, Antonio spotted something disturbing. A pair of glowing eyes stared back at him from the darkness. They remained completely still, showing no sign of movement or reaction. Unwilling to get any closer, Antonio immediately stepped away. He and his friend quickly left the hospital, taking the footage with them. To this day, no one knows what was behind that locked door, and the identity of whatever was watching them remains a mystery. One night, Marie and her friend were using an app that sends users to random locations. The app led them to an isolated area outside of town. Interested in seeing what was there, they went to the location and started recording with their phones. As soon as they arrived, however, they noticed something unusual.
Why did we just go to this quantum point and this whole person is Sky? Oh my God. I can't. What if it shows up in my rear view camera? No, I can't.
In the darkness, they spotted a man standing in the distance, looking directly toward them. As they continued watching, they realized he was not alone. Several other figures could be seen slowly moving in their direction. Frightened by what they saw, Marie and her friend quickly left the area. Even now, they still have no idea who the people were or what they wanted. Carlos was walking through the upstairs hallway of his house with a camera, recording what appeared to be a quiet night. Everything seemed normal until a sudden sound came from somewhere nearby. He immediately turned toward the noise and stopped in place.
Se fue la luz en toda la colonia Amixes. O sea, vean, literalmente no hay nada de luz alrededor, más que hasta allá se ven unos puntitos. Empecé a grabar porque se empezaron a escuchar ruidos, como siempre. Se escucha algo.
An item that had been resting in place only moments before was now on the floor. There were no visible signs of anyone nearby, and no clear reason for how it had moved. As the recording continued, the cause of what happened remained unknown. A woman was at home late at night recording a video when she noticed something unusual in her kitchen. Wanting to capture what was happening, she left the camera running. At first, the room remained completely quiet, but moments later, the situation changed dramatically.
Jesse, you left the refrigerator open. Holy. Oh my God. What's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
While she was telling her friend to close the refrigerator, the door suddenly shut by itself. Startled by what happened, she continued recording. Soon afterward, several cabinet doors appeared to open on their own, and items fell onto the counter. Unable to explain what she was seeing, the woman watched as the events unfolded around her. Whether the footage shows something genuine or was created through editing remains unknown. A woman documenting renovation work in the underground sections of Line 1 of Mexico City's subway system shared footage from her inspection. While walking through the tunnels and facilities, she suddenly heard something unusual, prompting her to pay closer attention to her surroundings.
No hay charola, no se ve charola, entonces... ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Están trabajando, chicos? ¿Hay alguien ahí? Chicos. Chuy. Chuy. ¿Hay alguien ahí? Creo que me espantaron. Chuy, ¿hay alguien ahí?
Some viewers claimed they could hear laughter in the background, while others believed they heard voices. A few seconds later, another voice can reportedly be heard saying Valeria, which was the name of the woman recording the video. But that wasn't all. Near the end of the recording, another voice can reportedly be heard saying, "Keep going forward." It seemed as though something was trying to get her attention, almost as if someone or something wanted her to keep moving forward and continue deeper into the tunnel. Pavley works as a security guard on a bridge during the night shift. While carrying out his patrol alone, he begins hearing disturbing screams that seem to be coming from somewhere in the darkness. As time passes, the sounds appear to get closer.
Hey, it's 3:30 in the morning. I went out to do my usual nightly round, my daily night routine. I went out to make my rounds and I heard a scream. So I took shelter in here, inside the guard booth, because I heard a lot of loud noises. And it's happening right now. So I don't know, Mr. Supervisor, what you have to do, because what happened to me 24 hours ago is happening again. This is kind of paranormal. So I'm going to go where the noises are right now. It's like this is getting out of hand. What's happening? I don't want to lose my sense of what's going on, but really, I'm kind of paralyzed by what's been happening. Honestly, I'm scared to death. So
While sitting inside his small booth, Pavley hears loud wailing sounds, along with heavy banging against the window. According to a local legend, anyone who hears crying or wailing at midnight should never go outside to investigate, because the source is said to be something other than human and is trying to lure people toward it.
it's like this is getting out of hand. What's happening?
Pavley was too frightened to find out what was outside. Whether the sounds came from a wild animal or something else entirely was never determined. To this day, the incident remains unexplained. A man is alone at home when he notices that the basement lights are not working. Feeling uneasy, he carefully makes his way downstairs. He explains that he has often heard footsteps and pacing sounds coming from the basement when nobody else is in the house. The man, who works as a gravedigger, says he has experienced similar uneasy feelings before, especially while lowering coffins into newly dug graves. However, while checking the basement this time, his camera captures something even more unusual.
At the moment, in the basement, I swear I keep hearing someone walk. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of creepy. Laundry room still has power, so that's good. But the rest of the basement's power is completely out, which is very strange. I'm not sure what that noise was, but I don't know. I'm home alone right now, so we'll see, I guess. Look out back. No, nothing back there. I don't know. There's been a lot of strange things happening.
As he turns the camera toward the bathroom, what appears to be a dark figure can be seen standing motionless inside the bathtub. The figure is visible only briefly. When he looks back into the bathroom moments later, it is no longer there. The man believes the camera may have captured something unusual, but what was actually seen remains unclear. At 4:45 a.m., A motion-activated camera inside a house captured an unusual image while everyone in the home was asleep. The photo, later shared by TikTok user These Haunted Hills, appears to show a dark human-shaped figure standing near a person in bed. Unlike a typical shadow, the shape seems more distinct, though no facial features can be made out. One possible explanation is that the sleeper's raised arm triggered the camera. Others have suggested the image could be the result of infrared interference, a camera malfunction, or visual distortions caused by low-light conditions. Some viewers have even connected it to reports of shadowy figures often described during episodes of sleep paralysis. On November 9th, 2024, Dan Bell and his partner entered a large abandoned motel complex, using their flashlights to navigate through the darkness. As they explored deeper into the facility, they came across a candle that appeared to have been lit recently and was still burning. The discovery suggested that someone else might have been inside the building not long before their arrival. As the exploration continued, it became apparent that they may not have been alone. High in the rafters, a figure appeared to be watching from the shadows, unnoticed by the explorers below. The sighting transformed an already unsettling investigation into something far more disturbing.
Yeah, it's wide open. I think it broke the glass. Oh, wait, never mind. They just popped it.
What the hell is that? Brandon, watch out!
Oh, God.
Is this banquet hall?
Yeah. I like the old trim.
Yeah.
Unaware of it, the explorers had already wandered deep into an area being used by a squatter. What started as a routine exploration of the abandoned banquet hall took a strange turn when they came across an unusual substance with a strong odor. The discovery led to an unsettling realization. The building wasn't simply abandoned. Someone was actively using it as a place to stay.
Oh no. Dan's opening up the fridge.
Oh my God.
Oh my. Oh my God. So bad. Okay,
Bye.
Oh.
What was that? What? Let's go look out this door. Oh, there's a kitty cat.
Where?
On top of this stairs.
Little black cat up there.
For a moment, things seemed calm as they explored the facility's old kitchen area. Then, without warning, a heavy metallic slam echoed through the empty halls, signaling that someone was moving around nearby. Shortly afterward, they spotted a stray cat sitting near the stairs, staring intently in their direction, almost as if it were keeping watch.
And something hit the second story window, so just be careful.
Something hit the what do you mean hit?
It sounded like somebody threw something at one of the windows from the inside. So I was shining my flashlight, like I was doing
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe I woke someone up.
I just heard someone talking. Down there. Yeah. That's also not a hotel.
I was thinking the same thing, but
It might be some, maybe they have this decorated in here differently.
that's what I was thinking.
But
there's still somebody's flip-flop toothbrush.
Without warning, a heavy object crashes through a second-story window from inside the building, narrowly missing the team below. The situation becomes even more unsettling when faint voices can be heard coming from the darkness, suggesting someone is nearby.
it sounds like there's somebody stomping around. I just don't know. Oh! Oh, thank God.
Did they come in here?
Yeah, okay, go. Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. God damn them. Scared the
Oh my God.
Panic sets in as they move through the cramped, dark prison wing. Then, at the edge of the frame, Dan's flashlight briefly catches what appears to be a human hand slipping back into the shadows. The moment confirms that other people are inside the building, and much closer than they had realized.
Don't go ahead. Just walk forward. Don't go in there. Just... right. Standing right above. I saw his legs. He's standing right here. Oh yeah, it's down there. Hey there. Do you see him? I saw 2 legs with jeans and a pair of tennis shoes.
I think it was the same guy that was on that section there. I didn't see that guy, I just saw his hand.
Where?
Is he down there? Oh no, it's reflective off the bike. What is that?
Brent, let's get the out of here. Seriously, I just...
On the other side of the wall, it's like this. It was like just his hand and a flannel shirt. And then when I shined the light, it like retreated. And that's when I ran into the other, well, like scurried into the other room, and I was like, I just saw his hand, he's behind us. And he wasn't saying anything, like he wouldn't...
He must have been laying in that room with the candle.
Their flashlights cut through the darkness and reveal a man in a flannel shirt watching from the shadows. Realizing someone had been following their movements inside the confined building, the team immediately turned and fled the area. The footage ends once they reach safety, but the events captured during the exploration continue to spark discussion online. In April 2026, a channel called Paranormal Discovery uploaded a video that drew attention from viewers interested in unexplained experiences. The footage follows a solo camper named Lomar, who documents overnight trips to locations he believes are connected to paranormal activity. In this video, he returns to a remote forest site in Nova Scotia that he had previously referred to as a Wendigo den, intending to spend another night in the area.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another haunted campout. Now, just right out of the get-go, I did something really stupid. I actually pulled up to the exact spot where I took Chels. This was the night where Kia got freaked out and Chels got freaked out, and we actually had to leave and pack up. I'll show you guys in a moment. You guys will be familiar with this spot. However,
Lomar pitched his tent in the same spot where, during an earlier visit, he and several others had reportedly heard heavy breathing coming from the darkness surrounding their campsite. That previous experience had been unsettling enough to make the group leave before the night was over. This time, however, he returned to the location by himself.
I can go back to that, spot in the deep forest, set up the tent again, but I'm like, it's not enough. It's really not enough. Let's go back to that spot where we set up the green bell canvas tent. So I had it actually right here. You guys may be familiar with...
At first, the forest was calm. Lomar set up his tent and got settled without any issues. As darkness began to fall, however, his mood started to change. A strong feeling of discomfort came over him, and he began to feel as though he wasn't alone. The atmosphere around the campsite no longer felt the same as it had earlier in the evening.
I don't know what this is, but I think I have to call it quits. This is not a good feeling. I'm gonna have to come back with Chels to do this, because right now I don't know what's around me, but on top of that, I'm getting this sick, nauseous feeling. Sorry, baby, sorry. I'm just gonna listen to my spiritual side of things, my intuition. This is really weird.
Then he heard slow, rhythmic breathing coming from directly against the canvas of his tent. The sound seemed incredibly close. He checked outside, but there was nothing there.
Okay. I'm just gonna... What the hell? Oh, that hurt.
A short time later, his paranormal device activated while still in his pocket despite not being touched. A distorted voice came through the audio, producing the words, "Get out." After hearing it, Lomar began to shake. The reaction felt immediate and physical, and he struggled to shake the feeling that something was wrong.
Okay, I think this
warrants an exploration. So, give me 1 second.
Hello?
He stepped outside to investigate. From somewhere in the surrounding brush, a loud, deep whooping sound echoed through the trees. Not long after, a whistling noise followed. The sounds didn't remain in one location and seemed to shift around the campsite. Whatever was making them appeared to be moving through the forest rather than staying in a single spot.
This is weird now. There's no birds, no nothing. Like, what the... Whoa. That was a whoop. I heard that. It's coming from deeper in. Like, if you're in the States, or if you're in New Zealand, or Australia, or Ireland, so many things, so many animals. There could be, like, spirits of dinosaurs, but it's the land that's haunted. I don't know, I think that's just, like, where my head's at. The issue is right now, the reason why I'm kind of packing up is because of that feeling. It feels like it's kind of coming back. It kind of feels like it's slowly, not as strong, but...
Lomar began packing up his campsite. He noticed that the uneasy, nauseating feeling that had briefly faded was starting to return. Deciding not to stay any longer, he left the area before midnight. On a rainy night, Angelo and his friend Mo arrived at an abandoned hotel in the Dominican Republic for a nighttime exploration. As they prepared to investigate the building, Mo spoke about a previous visit to the property during the day. According to him, he had come across what he believed was a body inside one of the rooms. The story added an unsettling atmosphere to the investigation before they had even begun exploring the hotel.
Yeah, it's been a little bit nerve-wracking. First abandoned place at night here in the Dominican Republic. Do gotta watch where we go. Be careful of who we run into. You know, at first I didn't even realize that this was I just heard something.
Heard something?
Yeah, it sounded like something got thrown down there. Yeah. There's so much like noise everywhere, it's hard to hear what's inside and outside.
Their concern grew when Mo suddenly noticed what appeared to be a figure near the bottom of a staircase. Although he wasn't certain whether the camera had captured it clearly, the sighting was enough to alarm both explorers. The moment left them with the feeling that someone else might be inside the building.
Whoa.
There's a guy sitting down. I just seen a guy hiding at the bottom of that staircase.
Yeah?
I don't know if I actually...
Later, while exploring an upper floor, Mo pointed out a room he had previously found containing a strange setup made of strings and twigs. Shortly after discussing it, a loud noise suddenly echoed through the building, sounding as though something had been thrown nearby. The unexpected sound immediately caught their attention and heightened the tension, leaving them convinced that someone or something else was aware of their presence.
That booby trap room that I found.
Booby trap room?
Yeah, there's an actual booby trap.
What do you mean by booby trap?
Well, I thought it was a booby trap at least.
Yeah. Well, like, what'd you find?
Look,
Oh, I see it. Yeah, there's like a string here.
it's almost like somebody put it there.
Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know. Go, 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 go. I don't know. Someone's
Honestly, I don't think we can leave this building area, but if we can get to that building,
Can we get there from here?
we have to go down a couple more floors.
Okay.
I think so.
There's like a hallway or something?
Yeah.
Let's just double check and make sure.
I thought I seen a flashlight.
Yeah, for a second I thought I saw something too. Wait, turn my light off, hang on. Oh yeah, I can see it, I see it, yeah. Turn your light off, there. Yeah. Someone's definitely down there.
With no clear source for the noise, Angelo and Mo searched the area but were unable to find anyone. The incident quickly changed their focus from exploration to safety. As the tension increased, they began considering how to leave the building, realizing they could be in a vulnerable position if someone else was inside the property.
Because we feel like we're kind of disorientated is because...
What the?
What's that? There's so much going on in our minds
I
right
know.
now. Like, our safety is top priority and we don't feel safe.
There's so much noise and everything going on.
Yeah. Someone is definitely downstairs.
Oh, 100. Oh, there you go. See him?
Someone's coming.
Yeah.
We got another guy coming down.
What do we do?
I don't know, bro. We're actually stuck in here.
Yeah, we gotta get the hell out of this.
Honestly, I don't think we can leave this building area, but if we can get to that building,
Can we get there from here?
we have to go down a couple more floors.
Okay.
I think so.
There's like a hallway or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just double check and make sure.
I thought I seen a flashlight.
Yeah, for a second I thought I saw something too. Wait, turn my light off, hang on. Oh yeah, I can see it, I see it, yeah. Turn your light off, there. Yeah. Someone's definitely down there.
Someone's down there.
Yep.
They're looking for us.
Wait, let's see if he...
You turn the flashlight off.
Yeah.
Don't turn yours.
No, I'm not.
If we turn on our flashlights right now, he's gonna catch us. You might not think we're still in this building.
Yeah.
But let's sneak our way.
They soon spotted a flashlight beam on one of the lower levels, reinforcing their suspicion that someone else was inside the building. Turning off their own lights, they attempted to move quietly toward an exit without being noticed. As they navigated the hotel, they heard additional movement and noticed shadows in different areas. The situation became even more concerning when they realized the presence they were tracking might not only be below them, but elsewhere in the building as well.
What's up?
Somebody in there.
You see him?
Somebody moving around in there. Hello?
Hello? I don't see anybody. Oh wait, I think I saw them.
Saw someone?
There's something there moving. What is that?
Hola?
I see something moving.
You actually see something moving?
Yeah, it's like right on the right side there. I don't know what the hell that was, but something was moving.
Yeah. I don't see nothing moving, but I heard somebody walk.
Yeah, that one. I literally saw it fall. Hello?
What, there's someone beneath us and above us?
Yeah.
The situation became more concerning, as sounds of movement seemed to come from multiple directions. While searching for a way out, they discovered signs that someone had been staying inside the hotel, including personal belongings and a recently used cigarette. These findings suggested the building was not as abandoned as it appeared, and reinforced their belief that they might be under observation.
No. Threw something at me. It literally just whizzed right by my head.
Threw something at you?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Holy crap. Dude, I kid you not. I think he threw like a rock or something. I heard it whiz right by my ear. Smell that?
Yeah, it smells like a cigarette.
Yeah.
What is it?
Which I think is right there.
Oh my god, there's a lit cigarette.
Yeah. Dude, they might still be here. Is it burning?
Yeah, it's smoking. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
We're in his house.
Oh crap.
We're in his house right now.
Oh, sorry.
There's a watch here, there's money.
Yeah.
Broken.
Dude, what is that? Look at that. I don't know what that is. What is that?
I have no idea.
That's weird.
This is strange.
Yeah. What do we do?
Well, he's got a Fendi bag. He clearly stole that from someone. A Gucci bag over there. Oh,
What?
cologne. Sunglasses.
Oh yeah, there's like a flask in there too.
Yeah. Yo, he's got a bandana, like a gang bandana. Dude, if this guy comes and finds us in here,
Oh yeah.
wait, what is that? Where's
What?
that light coming?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a light up there. Oh man. Yeah, if this guy comes and finds us here,
Oh look. Dude. There's a food container right up there.
As they attempted to leave the hotel, a figure suddenly appeared on the stairs and threw an object in Angelo's direction, narrowly missing him. The incident confirmed that someone else was inside the building and that the situation had become dangerous. Angelo and Mo quickly escaped the property without injury, but the encounter left them with serious questions about who had been inside the hotel and why they had been targeted. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.